longest running beer podcast in the Pacific Northwest. Why wouldn't they be listening to us?
So many different beers! I got you something really good and really delicious.
Oh my God.
You listen to the Brew Happy show, so do I. Do it.
It's not about the beer. It's about the beer.
Oh yeah, that's Brew Happy.
Well, hello, and thank you for tuning in to the Brew Happy Show. We are the longest-running beer podcast here in the Pacific Northwest, and we like to talk about beer and things that revolve around beer, whether it's making it, drinking it, writing about it, and anything in between. Our host, Damian DeBizer, is off this week, along with Browyn and Damian, the Green Goddess Botanic. They're in Florida, enjoying some tropical, exotic plant expo. Nice. We're going to hear a lot about that when they join us again next week. But, of course, I do have John Paul, the champion.
There we go. I'm still alive.
You are still alive.
I made it.
You got another week.
Another week.
Not so smoking, though, right?
Not so. Well, no, it was too damn cold to smoke.
We are having the pleasure of being here in Vancouver, which is Jen and I's home base. We live here in Vancouver, and a lot of times we travel across the bridges to Portland to enjoy craft beer. And luckily, we've taken one of our own from this side of the river to join us this week at Ben's Bottleshop. From Grains of Wrath, Mr. Mike Hunsacker.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, man, how are you?
Oh, good. Thanks for having me.
Dude, thanks for...
It's been a while.
It has been a while. You're still brewing beer, and it's still fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
You won some awards this last year.
It's a good year.
It was a really good year.
Really good year.
Let's talk about real quick before we get into the beers we're drinking here. What was this last 2023 like for you? Because you won some golds, you won some silvers, you won some bronzes, but you took a lot home compared to 2022.
Yeah. I think someone told us it was like 26.
A ridiculous amount.
It was really nice. I think, it's my crew rocks. We have a very, a like-minded set of guys that are brewers that are just trying to make, the best beer we can make. So, luckily,
apparently you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of nice to get that, recognition. Oregon Brewery of the Year, Washington Brewery of the Year.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's kind of one of those.
That's amazing. You won both states?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In 1 year. We had done it separately, but then it also 1 year.
No one's ever done that before, have they?
I don't know who.
Not for a long time.
Well, it's not easy because not all of them are in both places.
Right.
A lot of breweries just stick to one state.
Well, I think a lot of that was, too, in the past, and you can touch on this, is a lot of the regulations and rules and the way it worked for licensing was so different for a long time. I mean, I think this last year we did a lot of championing for craft beer distributing changes from Oregon to Washington.
Yeah, they had to.
Absolutely.
It was one-sided.
It was so one-sided.
It was so one-sided.
And now we have an equal playing field, which we're seeing more craft beer coming up from Oregon and going down to Oregon.
It's nice. It's opened a lot of things up.
Well, and it just means now, if you choose to, like you have and other people are looking at, you can put a brewery or a tap location either in Portland or Oregon or up in Washington somewhere.
Yeah.
It's making the craft beer scene more width-wise in enjoyment.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Okay, I have a question. Can you brew beer in one state, ship it to the other?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. You just have to comply with the tax thing.
We can ship within our own company.
Oh,
yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, I mean, now you can self-distro from Oregon, from Washington to Oregon. Before you couldn't.
Yeah.
It was only Oregon to Washington. Like I said, there's a one-sided thing, that it used to be. But we've had a distributor since we opened up in
there
Oregon.
you go. So you can distribute from Oregon to Washington, and then from there you could redistribute to the state.
Well, we still use a distributor. We've already signed with Day One Distributing, and they've been crushing it for us, since we opened up. But yeah, just between the brewery that we had in Portland and the brewery here that we have in Camas, we were able to,
thank God,
send beer between each other.
Yeah, I would hope
without having
so.
to pay anybody.
Yeah, I would hope so. For the love of God,
Yeah.
It's not that far. It is same area.
Well, now we get to enjoy what side of the river you're on. You get to enjoy some of the great craft beer we find here in the Pacific Northwest, like the one I'm drinking, which is from Pizza Port.
Pizza Port.
It's a red ale.
Oh, yeah, I had that
and
before.
It's pretty.
Oh, that's one of the most famous beers.
It's pretty
It
damn
is.
good.
That's one of the course.
I did try.
Chronic. I think it's called Chronic, right?
It is called Chronic.
Yes.
Yeah. It was between that and the Wayfinder Beautiful Creatures IPA, which is also fantastic. I think that might be my second
That's
beer.
a brand new beer.
Yeah, it's a nice IPA. It's very crisp, very hoppy, but super delicious. What are you drinking, John?
I'm drinking the RBW Export, which is a Dortmunder export for Recluse.
You do love the Dortmunder
I
beers.
do love Dortmunder beers.
It's good style.
And Dusseldorf
And
beers.
Gus is doing a great job over there.
Yes.
What are you sipping on, sir?
I'm drinking the Stoop Citra IPA. I mean, you can't go wrong with Stoop.
You can't go wrong with Stoop. You also can't go wrong with a nice Citra IPA.
True.
And you know a lot about IPAs because you guys do more
You
than your
crush the
fair
IPA.
share of them.
we do a lot.
You do a lot.
I mean, it's what pays the bills. So
It does. You guys have also stepped up your lager game since opening. Some of my favorite, of your guys' beers are your lagers.
Thanks. Me too.
And some of them are very German style, and some of them are very American style.
Yeah.
Do you have a preference?
I'm more of a traditionalist. I think German beers like our Frosthammer Helles is my favorite.
So
beer.
goddamn good.
Yeah,
The
that's,
can art on that when it originally came out too was I was like, oh well, this is something I want to smash.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great, like I said, it's a beer that we worked really hard to get dialed in very quickly, and it's been one of those, people know us for IPA, but I think our lager game is just as, if not more award-winning than our IPA.
Yeah, and I think I've seen a few of that trend kind of going as well. Von Ebert has also transitioned both ways with their IPA game being strong.
Yeah.
Volatile Substance is an amazing IPA.
Great beer.
But both in the respect too, they
That's
have
his Pilsner.
their
that
lager
Sam
game is
makes there.
killing
Yep.
it.
Yep, absolutely.
So Sam and Maddie over there at Von Ebert are just doing a great job. They guys keep it up. We love you.
Yeah.
Prost to those guys. Prost. Here you go. To
Prost.
Von Ebert. To you
Yeah.
guys as well.
Sorry about the Bills, Sam.
Sorry.
Wide right.
Sorry. So.
Right, right. I know. You know what, though?
I refused to text him. Just initially, my Midwesterner wanted to poke, but I was like,
You did a nice thing.
He shouldn't
Yeah.
have missed that because he's the home dude.
I
And
know.
he knows at that end of the field what happens to the football when you kick it. It does that all the time.
Always goes to the right.
And so he needs to aim it way farther left.
Here's what I will
And
say.
he's a home dude. He should
that
know
sucker
that.
hooked pretty good.
He did,
Yeah,
but
that-
they said that hook. They said before the kick it was going to hook.
Yeah.
Because they said that end of the field, that's what
Yeah,
happens.
he didn't aim far enough.
No, and
left.
he's a local dude, so he should know.
He should have known.
Now the KC guy, I can understand him not knowing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Buffalo.
kudos to Mahomes because they pulled out a pretty fucking amazing win, and
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to make it to the Super Bowl.
Well, I hope so. I got
They're
a
not
whole bunch
beating
of
them
You got a
yet.
whole lot of money on it.
whole
I
bunch
know
of
you
money
do.
on KC at the start of the year. I also have a big bet on them to meet San Francisco at the Super Bowl. Just to meet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's not happening.
That's not happening. Sorry. Yeah. Baltimore is going to.
How about this? Ravens right now are a machine.
They are, but there's one problem. Mahomes is MJ.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far.
I wouldn't go that far either.
Well, wait
You know what?
until after
MJ never
the-
lost the championship.
Yeah. I will say, watching the first half of that Baltimore game was absolutely thrilling because it was back and forth.
Yeah.
And
They had a chance.
They had a chance.
A little bit.
And it was fun to watch because they're still a great team.
Yeah.
They made it that far. I mean, absolutely.
All you have to do is
It's-
put a lick on him at the first quarter and knock the quarterback out when he's running around, and then you'll win the game.
Now, here's what I will say. And I'm gonna-
Right?
I'm
You have to
gonna-
be.
You're not wrong.
If you knock him out of the first quarter when he's running,
Oh, they're done. They're done.
Knees
He's done.
shattered. Yeah. I will say I am a Cinderella story man, and I'm
Detroit.
hard
So am I.
to push for Detroit. I don't care if they don't win the dance, but they got to make it to the
As a
dance.
Chicago guy and a Bears fan, which is rough, to see those guys out of our division do it, no one can hate the Lions.
I know.
Not
You can't.
Goff is.
I wish
absolutely
Green Bay would have
astounding.
beat San Francisco, so Green Bay and Detroit could have faced in Detroit. Can you imagine what that game
Oh,
would have
that'd
been
have been
like?
crazy.
Would
But-
it be how loud that would
But
be?
it also made my heart really happy to see Green Bay lose.
Green Bay, but
So-
if they could lose to Detroit in
So
Detroit,
happy.
I was following TikTok.
But you're right. That would have been good.
I was following some TikToks the other day, about a week and a half ago, coming out of that Green Bay win, and all the Bears fans were so amazingly angry. I've never seen people so angry that a team won. Yeah. And I get it, because you don't want Green Bay to win. You want Dallas to win, but Dallas just, like a flan in cupboard, just crumbled.
Oh, they can't help themselves.
That was a fantastic game.
That was fun to watch.
Yeah, watch Dallas.
It hurt me to cheer for Dallas, but at the same time, losing, I was kind of like, oh.
You were whispering to yourself, don't.
I'm like,
well,
they have to go through San Francisco, and I didn't think that was going to happen.
That's going to be a tough one to do for the Lions. It's.
You know what? Their defense.
And they have
so
offensive line, too. They can run.
Yeah, they can run the game.
They can run and slow it down.
It's going to be a close game, I think.
And there's no Deebo Samuel.
That's true. That's a.
Yeah, he's still questionable, right?
No, he's out.
He's out.
Is he out for this
he's
game?
out. Yeah, he's out.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think he tore his MCL or something. He's out.
Oh, I didn't know he was out. I just thought it was for this last game.
I will say that Jackson is by far just if the Ravens make it,
he's MVP this year.
They've got to win. He's just his run game is amazing. His passing game is amazing.
If they're going to win, they need to win this year.
Yeah, that's the only time that
they're set up for this year.
I think it's Harbaugh's last year.
John?
Yeah, I don't know. We watched Bill Belichick. I mean,
no.
Bill Belichick got real average real quick, didn't he? The genius.
But see, Jackson, how long is
he's the Bill Belichick of Cleveland Browns. Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
You lose the greatest quarterback ever, and suddenly you become real human.
Well, you didn't see without Brady, he's way under 500.
That's what I'm saying.
Way under.
Yeah, like the minute Brady left, it's like, look,
So we'll get a new head coach. We'll have a couple of rebuilding years, and then we'll come back to the Super Bowl.
You mean John Harbaugh, though? He's going to hang until Jackson gets old. Jackson is prime. I mean, what's his fourth year?
Yeah.
You got to stay there as long as he's there.
Yeah, he's got at least. Well, it depends if he gets blown up, but
I did think it was
7 years.
I did think it was very ironic when the Lions and Rams went against each other with their quarterback switch.
That was a good story.
That was a great story, and
because the Rams won the Super Bowl.
I mean,
because of that trade.
Yeah. New head coach. I mean, new quarterback. It
worked out.
Like I said, they're my dark horse. I'm gonna push them. This is enough for sports happy. Yeah,
we are happy though.
We are happy, and like when we drink beer, we're usually watching football or vice versa.
And most of the people listening to us like sports.
Yeah, they do. Damian's the only one who doesn't watch the sports ball.
We have to explain to him what's going on.
I know.
Go sports.
Go skirmish. Beat your opponents soundly. We're going to take a quick break, but of course we want to thank you guys for listening and tuning into us every single week on any of the podcast platforms that you can find us on. We're all over the place. Make sure you follow all of our social medias. Hit the subscribe button, like us, comment us, rate us highly. If you think we're garbage, send us an email at brewhappypdx@gmail.com. And, of course, if you want to support the show, we will gladly take any $1 or $5 of your dollars away from you. And it helps pay for the beers, pays for new dongles and cords, and keeps our hosting fees paid for. It doesn't run for free, I promise you. It sounds like it does, but it doesn't. So we do appreciate you guys. Patreon.com/brewhappy. And you might get some swag. You might get some cool things. You never know. Be a subscriber and you'll find out. Do it. Do it right now. Do it. Go. You're going to get live football updates for the next couple weeks, so just subscribe to that. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have some hard-hitting questions from Mike Hunsacker of Grains of Wrath. We have some news, John about town, and maybe a whiskey pairing. Who knows? We'll find out. And until then, we'll be right back.
Especially if it's just Corey.
What's that?
If it's just Corey, we're gonna have more whiskey.
Love whiskey.
Jen. Jeremy. Brew Happy.
Hey, I'm Jason Boss with Brothers Cascadia Brewing, and you're listening to the Brew Happy Show.
This is Terry. I'm the founder of Pink Boot Society, and I'd like to invite all the women beer professionals out there to give Pink Boot Society a chance and get yourself involved. It's a great way to support Pink Boots and women in the beer industry with scholarships. Beer's an awesome thing, and the more women we can get into it, the more we're going to party.
This is Lee Hedgeman, and you're listening to The Brew Happy Show.
John, I need more beer.
Oh my God.
Hi, everybody.
Very, very difficult to find. I worked really hard on that.
I would love to try that.
Yeah,
Because
it's
it's
very
just the
hard.
peak for me. That's not.
Love the smoke.
Oh, I don't know about you, but Mondays are a good day to drink beer
Yes, and play poker.
and play poker. Are you going tonight?
No, because we're not in Portland.
No,
it's
that's-
really hard for me to drive that far when I only live a mile that way.
I was gonna say, I think I'm another half a mile behind you. So yeah.
Because usually we do a show in Portland, so I'm closer to
Sure.
my poker than I am home. But I played till 6 a.m. Sunday morning,
Oh yeah, you're done.
down at the
You're
river.
good.
So
You're good.
I figured,
Well, you have to think about it, Mike. He plays at a strip club, so there's not like he's fallen asleep at any point.
no,
He's usually got a drink, and
Well,
he
no-
usually sips on it for a while.
right? Or I drink a lot of Guinness because their taps aren't clean.
Oh, gotcha.
So I drink, and everyone thinks I'm drinking a really heavy beer.
No, it's like
Oh,
yeah,
that's-
so it's
Yeah, it's
Crusher.
Guinness.
the easiest beer to drink.
But see, the strip clubs close at 2:30. I was at River Poker. They're up.
Oh yeah.
They have a deal where they stop serving at 2:30.
Right.
But if you can make it till 7, everyone gets a free drink at 7.
Well, shit. How often are
Way
you
to
there?
keep you there.
And that's all they talked about last. I left at 6 because I'm going I'm not drinking and going to bed. I mean, I quit drinking hours before I'm playing
Sure.
poker and I don't want to go to bed drunk. And I'm going last thing I need to do is have a drink and then just go to bed.
Yeah, that would be bad. Don't do that. Yeah, by the way, yesterday you missed out.
I did. What
you
did I miss out?
You missed out. McPollanders, Jeremy and Jen, had a brew day for OBC. So Oregon Brew Crew.
Nice.
The way that she explained it to me is that they had a bunch of home brewers put their names kind of up on the wall. And said that, hey, we're going to make this beer, and anyone who wants to sign up to join us for this beer, this is going to be kind of a teaching class, but also kind of like we're going to do
That
some.
was a stout thing yesterday?
Yeah, so yesterday, actually they made 3 beers yesterday, which was, I left after the second one.
Oh, you were there?
Finished. Yeah, I left. I was there for 4 hours.
Were
5
they
hours?
watching the game?
I was.
Okay, that's what I thought. That's why I didn't go.
Jen-
because I know exactly how much they're interested in football.
I love those too.
Jen
Yeah,
goes,
but they don't
you
watch
watching
football."
you watching the sports ball? And I was like, yeah. She's like, okay. And I was screaming my goddamn
No one else
head off.
is.
I was watching the Lions win. So yeah, so we went and they made their first beer was a tropical stout. I'll just give you guys a background on it. Mike might know, but you might not. Tropical stouts were made primarily for the tropical islands. So they're made usually in the UK and shipped over to Jamaica and other like Caribbean islands, and they were a little bit lighter, a little bit sweeter.
It's tropical stout?
Yeah, that's the name of it. It was a darker stout.
Not in flavor.
Not in flavor, but
Well, I know, just a
No, but
lighter,
lighter.
style
Lighter,
for
sweeter.
the hot weather.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
I
too
can
dark.
imagine drinking.
12% in
No.
dark
Jesus Christ.
sun.
So that was what they made, that was the first beer that they made. That was for the OBC kind of a class.
That's awesome.
And obviously, it was interesting to hear about the history of that because it's, I mean, like, who's making beers for Jamaica? Well, here's the beers they're making, and they actually had some tropical stouts they had picked up in Belize a few years ago. They kept amazingly.
Really?
They were
Wow, really?
They were so delicious.
Interesting.
I was so blown away that they kept them for over 2.5 years, but
Wow.
that they kept. They had good
That they
carbonation.
kept, yeah.
Yeah, taste was great, and then
They were in bottles?
yeah, they were in bottles. Yeah, delicious. And then they made their second beer was a hoppy lager, and the name of that beer is called Bitch Please. So That's a Gen beer.
Named it.
That's a Gen beer.
Jeremy would never name that.
So I got to see that beer go into the whirlpool, and then I left. Then the next thing they were doing was a Fleck beer, a Fleckschmeid Heidelfirden, some fucking weird name, but lots of grains. The grain bill, I think there was 6 different grains in that. I'll have to get it from her and tell you guys next week, but it was fun. It was just a fun weekend beer brewing session, and yeah, you missed out because I was watching the game, but it was we had some hot scotchies.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm gonna watch the
Always
game.
gotta have hot scotchies.
Always gotta have hot scotchies. Rest in peace, Jim Parker. We do love you. And
I had his beer on Friday.
Did you really?
The Holiday Ale, Jim Parker Holiday Ale. That's a fantastic beer.
It's such a good beer.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
Barrel
yeah,
yeah.
Barrel.
Yeah, so one they make every Christmas season.
Yeah.
What did you do over the weekend?
A lot of things.
Do you want to talk about it now, or do you want? You got to pull your young tap back up now.
I got to bring my young tap out and see where.
You always close it.
Well, yeah, I know because I was
looking at other. There's no sports ball on tonight. Just calm down.
I know there's no sports ball.
This guy usually has his phone propped up watching the game, or if there's
not,
there's a TV.
Okay, so I did have a bunch of weird ass beers.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I had the Jim Parker. Oh, I know. I had a weird beer you would not like.
This is a great story.
Here
we go.
I was at Beer
Really
Monger.
drawing me in.
So listen to this. So we went to Row East because we used to be at the Green Dragon for like 300 shows, and I felt really disappointed going in there and leaving. So it wasn't so good. So after that, we went to Beer Mongers, and I said, about 9 o'clock. So they close at 10. I walk in there, and the place is just packed, packed. And I go, what the hell's going on?
Right.
And they go, it's the TriMet bus driver's last stand.
Reverend Nat.
Oh, right. Forgot about that.
So he brought weird ass shit like you can't believe. And,
I'm sure he knows.
I bet it was great.
Yeah, and one guy from London brought 16 bottles of English cider.
What?
Really?
Yes. And to try it, and they were just pouring it like mothers, and the stuff.
Jesus
in
Christ.
England is pretty strange too, but that was pretty cool. But I went over there because they had on tap a peated Scotch beer.
What?
Oh yeah, peated. Yeah.
Yeah,
some of the original Scotch ales were peated.
Right. Well, this is from Single Hill. It's called Overstory, and it was a peated Imperial Stout, 13.3%, and it was on tap. So I went over there, and they had sold out. But
of course they did.
They had bottle. I mean, they had cans.
In the Midwest, what was it? Dark Horse used to make one called Scotty Karate that was a peated Scotch.
Oh, that sounds great.
It was really it was lightly smoked with the peat because like
Same
we
with
were talking
this.
about before was I know it's good because otherwise
It's super
peat
subtle.
for me is real.
Because this was aged in a peat barrel, so
Oh, cool.
the barrels had already used most of their peat.
Sure.
We do love
so
Single Hill, so that's fun.
Single Hill kills it.
Yes,
Really
I was
do.
surprised that it was a peated Scotch. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, the next time I see Single Hill, I'm just gonna, doesn't matter what it is, I'm gonna get it because when they came and did Function PDX over the summer or fall, that was fantastic. And they always make, God, it sucks being right next to the hop fields. I don't know how they couldn't make great beer. I don't understand. What else did you have, John?
Listen, I had another one from a new brewery called the brewery's IK Beer Brewery. What the hell brewery is that?
What the hell is that? Where's that out of?
Oh, Ilk.
Ilk.
Ilk is, if I remember right, it's Pat, who used to be the head brewer at Claim 52. No, not Claim 52. No. He was at Three Magnets, and then he was. It's escaping me.
He's in Olympia now.
Yeah.
And there was a winter, so it was a winter IPA. It was a good beer. They've got several of those here. They got like 3 on cans here.
Oh, wow.
And they do a good job here trying to get stuff from Washington down here that no one else, one in Oregon gets it for sure.
Right.
And down here, there's not that many people that work that hard. I guess them and Final Draft do a good job of bringing down stuff from
sure do.
From the Seattle area.
Seattle, Woodinville, all that little Lakewood, all that, yeah. What did we have? Oh, we had for the hot scotchies.
Yeah.
We had the Isla.
A scotch I gave him?
Yeah. Yeah, we had one of the Isla ones. What was it? The gray label one. The Bernodic or no Brand.
Berglotti.
Yeah, the
Oh,
Isle
the
of
gray one, the Brick Lottie.
Yeah.
Yes, the gray. Yeah, I know which bottle that.
Yeah,
Oh,
that-
yeah.
Yeah, that went amazing with the
That was actually, that one is,
the dark stout malt.
that's not so peated, that's oily and coastal.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
delicious.
so that works. It works. You might like that.
Really?
It's an
It's not-
Isla
it's-
Scotch.
Yeah, it's not super
That
peaty.
they do everything. They use peated water, of course, because they don't have a choice in their stuff. And they use barley from the island, so it's a little bit peated in there, but they don't use peat.
Okay.
So it's a style called oil and coastal, and it gives you more of a salty, earthy thing
Nice.
without actually
Minerality
any
kinda.
peat or smoke. So it's not a real hard style to find because it's sort of most people, if you want peat, they want peat. They don't want
in between.
Yeah, the in betweens. But it's one of those weird ass styles, and it was a Brooklyn 2013. And it was an exceptional year. So
Yeah, it was really good, and it, like I said, it went really nicely with the little pour off from the mash and from that tropical stout. It was really nice.
Cool.
I brought with me something that you had given me that was like a kill the bottle kind of a thing. It was the Glendronach.
Sherry one.
Sherry puncheon. Yeah, it was so good. I just shared that with Jen and Jeremy, and they're like, "Thank you." Mike, let's get into some of the your world kind of a things, because the biggest thing I wanted to talk to you about is you're now just in Washington.
Yeah.
And we covered this previously through our news segment that you were closing the Portland location. It had been only, 2 years that you had it open?
2.5. Yeah, a little more, almost 2.5 years.
Do you want to talk about the close?
Sure. We were, we're very blessed that we have, people are asking for more beer, and that location itself just was already maxed out.
Right.
I mean, it couldn't go anywhere. And it was instead of trying to run 3 breweries at our size, it was just made more sense to open a production facility. It was a tough decision to make because I love being in Portland because that's kind of where a lot of my roots, started. So it was a tough decision, but it was one of those that, going back and forth across the river, the effort that, we had to do for that, just the area was, still kind of up and down.
It's called traffic.
Traffic.
Traffic always sucks, but yeah.
So, it was a tough decision, but we decided to kind of just pull back across the river here, and then we're going to be opening a new production facility over in Washougal.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that because we had seen that as well, and we'd touched base a little bit back towards October, and that's definitely something we're going to want to come and hang out when you guys get that
absolutely.
all done. What's the time frame for that?
We're supposed to finally,
it's a long process. Permits suck in Washington.
Cities and permits. I mean, Camas was great. Washougal was a process. Finally got everything going. They laid the drains today. We should be having them pour concrete hopefully by the end of the week.
Awesome.
If not, beginning of next week. The brew house itself has already been delivered.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so we're having to put in a 4-vessel 20-barrel steam system.
Killer.
From Premier Stainless in San Diego. The cellar tanks all arrive this week.
Ooh.
End of the week.
How many barrels?
It's a 20-barrel system. We're doing 60-barrel fermenters.
Awesome.
Just doing 4 to start with a bright tank, and then we can pour. We have enough room for another pad to pour. We can probably put another 8 to 10.
Are we going to see more cellared beers?
Really, it's going to be kind of filling a lot of the IPA need at first.
Of course,
with 4 tanks.
Of course.
Any of the cellar stuff that we're going to be doing, stouts and barrels, that's probably going to come out of Camas.
Okay.
Yeah, because it keeps it at 20 barrels, and it's just a little easier than trying to drop 60 barrels.
No, I totally understand.
Until we can figure out how we want to run it.
That makes perfect sense, and it sounds like it's going to be a great expansion for you guys as a whole, and as a brand. Like I said, with the start, we can't get enough of your IPAs and your lagers. Nice. How is that going to look for as far as a kind of a front side, or is it just going to be a production facility?
Initially, it's going to be a production facility. We want to eventually have that little tap room, since we're going to have a little spot down there because in the same building as Recluse.
Right.
And then right across the field there is 5440. So
which is a great little cove of beer.
Absolutely.
Right.
And then be kind of foolish not to have it. But right now we're going to be focusing on this production facility.
Get it up and running before.
Yeah, just start paying some bills.
Well, and that makes sense. You can't just keep putting one foot until you get the next lift. I guess.
That's true.
Foot in your ass, that's what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's talk about 2024 for you, because obviously this is going to be a big year, but what does it look like for the landscape of the beers you're going to be making, and are you going to keep entering in to win more awards? Or are you going to scale back to kind of focus on beer?
No, I mean, I think we're already focusing on beer. We're just lucky enough to be able to enter some competitions with them.
Which is fair.
I mean, really, we don't go too far out of our wheelhouse. I mean, we do German lager. We do lager. German styles. Also, we do Hefeweizen. We do a Weizenbock, which was one of the beers that won at Great American Beer Festival this year.
Yep.
And then IPAs, some stouts. But West Coast, we make a hazy.
Yep.
And then, but yeah, it's going to be kind of fulfilling a lot of those the big package items. People want IPA, and then the seasonal lagers.
Are you still moving a pretty good amount to Oregon?
Oh yeah, that's the majority.
Is it really?
That's the majority. Yeah, we still can't make enough for them, which is one of the problems.
Right.
I mean, good problem.
Right. Now, obviously, you get to expand.
Yeah, and then Seattle has been a market that's really starting to open up a lot more.
Awesome.
Being that we will have more beer for them, and then kind of open up, a little more of Washington. But we've also had phone calls from Denver and San Diego and San Francisco for
there
beer.
You go.
So, yeah, wouldn't mind, occasional, not constant. I think that's the key of being outsiders.
Every once in a while, throw a couple half barrels down to Denver.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Just throw a few pallets of draft, a pallet of cans or whatever, and then just kind of pull back, and then in another quarter.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, I think I saw that. I noticed it was very similar here. If you're from the outside, don't hang around too long, because the minute you're available too much,
you're right. No one cares.
Then everybody goes right back to their old faithfuls.
Yeah. Right.
So, I saw that with a few brands that came here, and I was like, don't overstay your welcome.
Stop. Yep, yeah. Because then you find yourself going, well, that brewery's still on the damn tap again. Oh, great. I don't want that.
How long they been here?
Yeah. How long?
Well, I mean, just, people enjoy outside for a minute, and then, because it's a novelty, and then
they want a different outside.
And they want a different outside.
That's kind of the way I feel, and you're going to have a different opinion from this, John, than I will, because you love matchless, but I like seeing every once in a while matchless.
Ilk. Sorry, that's where Pat came from, was matchless.
Matchless. There you go.
Oh, okay, that's
sorry.
When I go to a tap house, or I go to the spot that has matchless on, I'm like, oh, great, awesome, I'll have some matchless. But if I go there the next time and there's even more or the same one, I'm going, either it's not getting drunk, which then maybe you shouldn't be putting it in here, or you're overextending yourself. And they make great beer. I love their beer, but I like seeing them just occasionally. Sure. Which I don't know if I'm the odd man out on that, but you're right to that effect of you kind of just have to push yourself into a little space and then pull back and then go to a different space where you're going to get a different crowd or a different scene.
Or at least be very limited.
Right.
Makes
sense.
But yeah, that's kind of the idea. It's kind of spread it out, quarterly or however we find it.
Right.
We've had interest from overseas as well, from Japan and such, and that'd be kind of fun, because that makes me have to go to Japan to make sure the beer's right.
Speaking of Jen and our good friends Jen and Jeremy, they're going to be in Japan in April.
Nice.
And I was a little sad because we haven't gotten our media passes yet, but we've all submitted for Craft Brew Conference in Vegas in April.
Gotcha.
So we're going to be heading down there to do that, and we invited Jeremy to tag along. He's
awesome.
like, I can't. I'm going to be in Japan.
Yeah, Japan. Wah, wah.
Well, I was like, you're stupid. It's Japan. He goes, right, that's why I'm going. I was like, hey, I would want to go to Japan too.
Me too.
And hopefully you can get some beer out there, because that scene is growing. I know the Fuji to Hood is still such a popular event in Portland.
Yeah.
And the showcasing for...
I'd love to be able to do that, but I don't think they consider us Portland
not
anymore.
No.
Unless they're willing to expand
Make an
a little bit,
exception.
which I would love that.
If they made, you know what? I think I can talk to somebody about that. And I don't know if they'll listen, but I might talk to somebody about that. But I think it's a fun project all by itself because it's collaborative and it's a community of craft beer, and the way that they've been just kicking ass over there. Yeah. I mean, minus the big names taking over some of that stuff, it's still killer. Yeah. The small breweries that come over, a culmination is, as we have known, has been a spearhead of Fujita-hood, and we've been over there, and people are coming in going, yeah, I'm all the way from Japan because I saw that your beer was over there once, and I wanted to come to Portland, and it's so fucking cool. That's awesome. So fucking cool. Yeah. Speaking of things in the area for you, like Culmination or other breweries, what's on your hot list to do collaborations with this year? I
mean, local or just in general?
Sure.
We've got let me see here. We've got a couple lined up already. In next week, the folks from speaking of Denver, Cannonball Creek. They've won.
I haven't been to Cannonball Creek.
I was going to say,
you're
what
missing
city are they
out.
in?
They're in Golden. They're 20 minutes from Denver.
Yeah, I know.
We've been to Golden a lot.
Do not miss.
Because we go to CBC all the time.
A long time. They've won. I can't tell you how many medals they've won
Cannonball Creek
with their session IPA called Trump Hands.
Okay. All right.
It's great.
I'm not going to go into that.
They've won Golden Pilsner. Oh, it's nothing,
No.
But they're.
So because we've been to Golden City Brewing, GBC is great. We love them. What's the one that's just down the street from them?
Where was that? Who?
Golden City Brewing.
Oh, Golden.
Golden City.
Yeah, in the town of Golden.
There's one brewery right down the road from them.
Coors.
The Toad. Well, yeah, but
Coors.
Pretty darn damn close. There's the Toad one that you had the blueberry Kolschat.
Yeah,
You're gonna have to.
You should never admit that.
No. He says it's delicious. I have to believe him.
Give me a second.
He's gonna figure out.
Like Cannonball Creek. I mean, if you look at I think the three biggest hitters, especially IPA, and you know what, talk about medal winning is Denver is Cannonball Creek, the Westbound and Down, and
Westbound is really so good.
And Comrade, that's Marks who came out of Boneyard and Barley Browns.
Mountain Toad is the one I'm thinking of.
Mountain Toad. That's right.
And that's funny. Golden City Brewery is right around the corner from Mountain Toad, but it's so crazy that we've been there multiple times and never been to Cannonball Creek.
Oh my God! Yeah, you're missing top three IPA breweries in Colorado, in my opinion.
Yeah, I love Golden City because it's just a tiny little location, but their back patio area.
You're right. We have not been there.
Is giant.
Oh, you got to go.
Okay, now we're gonna go.
393 Washington Avenue.
On your list,
there
number
it is.
one.
Okay, so you got those guys.
I've been to over 600 breweries.
Have you really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
In the world.
I think I've heard of 600 breweries.
But I've been to I go to whenever I travel, all over Scotland,
of course. Yeah.
London, Germany.
Sure. Why not?
And it was weird because in Cologne and Dortmund and Dusseldorf, there's 10 breweries in each town, and they all make one beer.
They all make one beer.
It's so weird.
It's regional.
It's the craziest
they
thing
stick with
ever.
what they know.
You can really hit a lot of breweries fast that way because you don't have to try all their beers.
Yeah, you try one.
You have one, maybe
what
two.
Do you got,
they
one?
Have, a seasonal, and they'll have their Helles. Or
Here's the funny thing: I went to Dusseldorf with the alt beers, and right when you pop out of the train station, there's this huge brewery right there. And I went, that's probably the worst one. So I went to 9 other ones first, and we came back to there.
That's the best one.
Of course it was. You got bamboozled by your own
brain.
brain.
You just assume you go that's.
Yeah, we've got that.
They put
going.
that shit brewery right next to the trains. Yeah, that's great.
What else? Oh, collabs. So we got we're gonna have. I was just down in San Diego this weekend for the Bergen Invitational.
Killer, by the way.
Yeah. And so we're trying to get them up here. Evan from Green Cheek asked if he's going to be up here in March and asked if we want to make a collab. So if you don't know Green Cheek, that's one of the best in the country.
We do a lot of we are always surprised when we hear new breweries because there's so many goddamn ones out there.
Green Cheek is one of the best in the country.
Okay, we're gonna have Green Cheek.
Green Cheek.
Green Cheek.
What city?
They're right outside of LA, I believe. Yeah.
I tell you, I haven't been there. I can tell you that right now.
We're gonna get
orange. Yeah, you're right. In orange.
Yeah. They're gonna get in Single Hill. We're gonna get them down here this year.
Killer, that's great.
Yeah, we love those cats. We're gonna do another collab. I'd like to do another collab with Chris.
I've been to Green Creek. Oh my God.
Green Cheek?
Green Cheek. October 31st, 2017.
God
I
damn.
had an Impossible German Fest beer. Can you believe that?
No.
Unbelievable.
You were actually there?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's them.
That's why I don't remember anything. That's why I have to mark all my beers.
That's how he remembers what he drank.
Crush it.
I've only been there for one beer, but
I mean,
my wife would tell you all about it.
I'm sure she would.
And so I'm going to go back as a reciprocal deal because so Colorado, their Brewers Guild does a collaboration fest where you pick a collaborator from outside of Colorado.
Oh.
So we're going to brew the first batch here at my place, and then when any tweaks we want to make, then I'm going to go out there and we're going to brew it together.
When's that?
March.
Perfect. So we can expect
I think it's March.
Mid-April to find that beer?
Yeah, well, the one here is we're bringing
right now.
We're brewing next week,
Oh,
so that'll be out by the end of February.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, it'll
okay.
be fun.
Yeah, we'll have to definitely come over and try that.
That's going to be part of our anniversary release for our, like an IPA anniversry release.
I was going to say, you guys are at 5 years?
6.
6 years. So you guys are going to have a big old party for that?
Yes.
No. You're going to release you're going to release a few beers.
We'll release a few beers. Yeah.
I think when you get to 10, that's when you get to get the big party.
Yeah. What I'd like to do is of big parties, I'm really kind of kicking around this summer, pulling all the stops and starting in an IPA festival that I put on and.
That's not a bad idea.
Call all my friends.
Out there.
Yeah.
In
Colorado.
Washougal. Oh, we're in Colorado.
Oh, no, not Colorado.
Yeah, no,
Camas.
Camas.
Colorado's fine
yes.
too.
No, because
I agree.
I know a few folks, so I pull those strings and from all over the country.
And it's an IPA fest.
And it's an IPA fest.
Well, and you guys
they're
have
gonna
that
be coming.
Yeah,
and
you
just
guys have that
flex.
patio. I mean, you could definitely house.
Well, we would shut down the street and
Oh, absolutely. There you go.
Block it off.
Yeah, I would because I'm gonna get different drop points from from Cleveland to Austin to Denver to Albuquerque and a bunch of places and
get some fat heads back in.
Hell yeah,
there you go.
That's the point.
That's it. Go.
Gotta pay homage to the boss.
How about brew dogs? You got brew dogs?
Brew dog? I don't know. But that does sound. That
You ever did
You and
brew
your
dogs?
Scots.
He's got it. Every chance he gets, you got brew dog.
Brew dogs? Yeah, Scottish ones. Have you been to Vegas lately?
No,
They have a location there. It's on the 3rd floor on the Strip.
really. They got a lot of budget.
Yes, they do have a lot.
Which is totally fine because their beers are pretty darn damn good.
They have to. Well, that's all you get to rely on
That's true.
when you go over to the UK.
True.
Well, if you
Well,
so
Beavertown is pretty good.
okay. Well, so one year I was in London, right?
Yeah.
And if you go to the southeast underneath the train, there's a bunch of little breweries down there and tap houses and stuff, right? That's where they all are in town. And I was there for a festival, another little beer festival, and I'm down there, and I don't really I don't necessarily like a lot of their beers. I try them, they're IPAs, but you know. So I went to this festival, and all of a sudden I went, there's actually some good beers here. And I found out, where the hell are all these beers? They came from Manchester.
Okay.
So the next year I went to Manchester, and I went to the breweries up there, and I have to admit, way better breweries in the UK.
Nice.
Up in Manchester. So,
Good.
So I was surprised because
good to remember.
it's not easy.
It's not easy.
I can imagine water in London might be very difficult.
Well, also ingredients are
Yeah, I don't
probably not
know.
as easy to come by.
It's the same.
Well, they grow everything in the UK.
That's true. They do have that northern part of their.
It'd be a pretty robust malt bill.
Absolutely, that's for sure.
We're gonna use
I mean, they're not that
Golden
far
Promise.
from. I was gonna say they're right.
Actually, that was Fathead's base malt back in the day before they got bigger. Was Thomas Fawcett Golden Promise?
So the hoppy lager that Jen and Jeremy made on yesterday, they didn't have enough German pills. They were about 3.5 pounds short of their 10-pound German pills.
Okay.
So they used the rest of it in Golden Promise.
Oh, there you go.
And Jen was like, if it were the whole thing, I would probably have a different thought process for the recipe. She goes, but it'll be fine, and it'll still be a fantastic lager. And so I was like,
so is this kind of a West Coast IPA, or what we're calling them now?
That's a good question. I'll have to get back to
like a New World hops, American hops.
I want to say it's probably just a very straightforward. It's like
American IPA.
Lager.
Lager. Oh, lager.
Probably more of an American lager because it's going to be hoppier than a traditional one. But
because the West Coast Pils is taking off.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's so good.
It's so good.
We just had one release.
It's probably one of the
speaking
easiest.
of collabs, we had a release last week with a West Coast IPA with all New Zealand hops, West Coast style, with New Zealand hops from we brewed with Shred.
Okay.
And if you don't know them,
nope.
Another one. Amy, she used to brew. She was the head brewer at Arrow Lodge, and her husband Zach was Moonraker and Slice.
Yeah.
So they were open for 4 months this year when they won Brewery of the Year in Denver.
Not that long, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
4 months.
4 months. So,
any others as far as collabs close to home? You got a lot of great breweries here on the Southwest, Washington side.
We've done a bunch.
I'm sure you have.
Yeah. I want to get Lewitt over there.
Those guys are great.
They're good friends of mine. Lewitt would like to get Trapdoor, Jake and crew to come over to our spot.
Killing it as well.
Yep, doing a really good job.
And then won a couple of awards this year too.
Yeah.
Super congrats to them as well because I think they have a newer brewer on deck. What's her name? I can't remember her name.
Morgan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she got to name the Shebrew beer that they ended up canning for and did labels and everything like that. And that's great stuff over there too. So God, those guys are awesome.
Yeah.
Well, awesome, dude. So you were planning an anniversary party-ish kind of thing. Maybe we'll see what happens.
It'll be at the beginning of March. So, yeah, we got some time. We got some barrel beers that we have to empty and
refill,
and serve, and that sort of thing. So a lot of fun. Yeah, I wanted to have our collab with Fort George on, but I think it just needs to sit a little longer.
Smart choice.
Yeah. I mean, they're 18-year Elijah Craig barrels. Yeah. And they're really expressive. I just think it needs to kind of mellow a bit.
That might be a good one for the anniversary.
Yeah, I did roll those barrels and got probably half a gallon of 18-year barrel proof. The barrel proof is so much better than the watered down version you get in the bottles.
Trust me, 90% of all my whiskey is barrel strength.
Yeah, me too.
Single barrels.
Yep.
Because
or bottle and bond, or
I don't want it watered down at all. I'll water it.
Yeah, you water it, right?
Right.
So the Elijah Craig, I probably should have brought some.
Yes, you should have.
We're going out to Canvas right now.
No, we're right down in Hazeldown. So I have a jar in my house that's got. I filtered it a lot, and it's like,
Jesus.
it's almost opaque. It's
wow.
It was 18 years in that barrel.
Right, of course.
Because the watered down version just tastes like you took bourbon and put it on an old stave, and you have to suck the bourbon off the stave.
Horrible.
It's so oaky.
Right.
But this stuff is just fantastic.
So yeah, don't drink it all.
It's got to be in like the 100.
It's got to be 130. I'm sure you could set it on fire.
Oh, I'm sure.
Well, how old? 18?
Yeah.
It would be about 110 proof. 18 stuff.
Well, the Elijah Craig is 12, and that's 130.
Yeah.
Really? The bourbon's that way?
It's got to be 150.
Scotches aren't that strong at that age.
Not Scotch. This is.
I know, but it's the same type of thing in terms of.
Well, all the Elijah Craig barrel proof stuff that comes out is no less than 125 that I've ever seen.
And how
interesting?
But are they aged on the barrel? Are they age statement? Okay.
Yeah, they're age statement. They're all 12 year.
Well,
okay.
Yeah, so I'd be willing to put it's 10 or it's like 12 year, at least 12 year for the Stag Junior, and that's like in the 130s.
Yeah, because this one's 10 year and it's 64.2%.
Yeah, 128.
Yeah, 128, but that's 10.
Yeah, see, there you go. Add 8 more years.
Yeah.
a lot more Angel
really
share.
Drops.
But that's the other thing is I was going to say
58, 56.
You get to that point where, like, I know that you and I have had this conversation, John, a couple of times of like, yeah, I don't want 25 plus years because you're not.
It depends on the style.
It does depend on the style, but you typically
because peat to peat, I like nothing 6 to 10, nothing more than 10 on peat.
Right.
Okay.
Because you subtly you lose the flavor of peat, and if you like peat,
Right.
I don't want subtle peat. The last
You
thing
want
I want
fucking peat, right?
I want freaking peat. That's why I understand why people pay 25 for a 25-year-old peated whiskey when it's barely anything left in the peat.
That's
Whereas sherry,
right?
Sherry ages beautifully. I love 25-year-old sherry.
Yeah.
age.
But that's but like 18 to 20 is kind of the nice range for most of the scotches, and 16 is a little
long
bit
as it's not
depending.
peated.
Right, the peated ones is.
As long as it's
I think bourbon. I think like 8 to 12 is great.
Yeah,
Because
bourbon's
of the
definitely
sweetness.
yeah.
Bourbon's definitely different.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
8
the
to 12 is a
12
good
is,
landing zone.
Well, especially with Elijah Craig, that one you can have pretty much all the age ranges because it's about what you're looking to drink.
Right.
But yeah, 12 to 15 is usually where I would probably put myself in that range.
that's
but
all 12 here.
18, that's high.
18 is a long time.
Fucking hell.
I mean, you got all the pappies and stuff, which we just got at our place in Camas.
Did you?
Yeah, we got the 20 year,
Wow.
15 year, 13 year. I mean, 12 year. The Van Winkle Rye, the
that's gonna make a
10
great
year,
beer.
and then we got the entire BTAC selection.
That rye is going to make a great
Where do you
beer.
get that from?
That's all Buffalo Trace family.
I know, but I mean, where do you get it when you?
Oh, the distributor.
Distributor.
Yeah. I mean, Buffalo Trace is our well, so I don't know any wells better than that.
Yeah, that's a pretty good well.
And so that puts us on a list. When
Got it,
we're
most
selling that
definitely.
much.
Good.
It's allocation.
There you go.
Yeah, it is. I mean, those things are special because
Deep pockets. That's what he's saying. It's
a
deep
game.
pockets.
It's a game.
It's a game.
Jesus.
Thank God I don't like bourbon, so I don't.
You know what it sounds like? It sounds like this new facility is also going to be housing a lot of
Whiskey.
A lot of private
whiskey.
collection.
Anyway, we'll move on from that. Last question before we go to break.
Yeah.
What beers are you most excited for in the next couple months that you're going to be releasing?
Well, we've got a few different things. It's we've got a couple new IPAs coming out, like the one with Cannonball Creek. I'm stoked to brew.
That's going to be fun.
We've got a new beer that we just brewed with Ruse last week.
Awesome.
Yeah, an IPA that we did with our distributor Day One. Looking forward to that and those coming out.
Right on.
And then right now we're in the middle of World Beer Cup brewing for lagers already. I mean, our
You gotta be.
Where is the World Cup?
The World Beer Cup this year is in Vegas with
Yeah.
CBC. It goes with CBC.
Yeah. So
moves.
We're going down there at the same time.
Yeah. So Wednesday of CBC is World Beer Cup award ceremony.
Award ceremony. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So.
Well, wait, you're leaving Wednesday.
We're all leaving Wednesday.
No.
You're leaving Thursday?
Maybe. I haven't booked my flight yet. I can leave anytime I
We're gonna talk
want.
about that. I will probably leave Wednesday.
I mean, it's not a festival like
Yeah,
it's
no,
not
I
like
know.
that,
I
but-
know. It's a boring little.
But they have
it's
a
not
lot
boring.
of
There's
fun,
a lot
they
of
have
fun
fun
things.
little like releases and stuff like that.
But it's like how often am I going to this?
That's true.
Right.
Right.
It's a
I'm
once
not
in a
going
lifetime,
that
right?
often. I
No.
mean, if it was a cigar show, I'm there every year.
Well,
so
here's the
I'd be
thing: is I
past
will
that,
tell
past
you
that stuff.
is because it's CBC and it's in Vegas, just because it's CBC, there's gonna be events during the week from local things.
Yeah.
So although yes, we're gonna be going to CBC and having a lot of great time, and we'll step into some seminars and we'll look at some things, and we'll listen to some things. Keynote speech this year is, I think, from a whiskey distiller. And I can't remember her goddamn name, and I'm so sorry.
Same.
I'll plug it in for next week. Don't worry. But I mean, there's going to be a lot of events.
It'll be a lot of fun.
It's going to be a lot of fun. And then, World Beer Cup Awards is on Wednesday. It starts at 5 or 5:30 and then goes to 7. So
if we get anything, go up and grab it for me.
Yeah, I will. I will if I'm there.
Is this thing CBC always in Vegas?
No.
That's why we're
travels.
going.
Yeah.
Last year it was in Nashville. Next year it's going to be in Indianapolis.
That's why we're going to Vegas. Cheap and easy.
Cheap and easy.
Cheap and easy.
Cheap and easy.
I think when I was looking at my hotel booking for a king room at the Palace was
Palms Place.
Palace Place was in total $650
For how many days?
For Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Because I'm going to check out Wednesday.
Yeah.
Because I would go home Wednesday. But yeah, for 3 nights, $600.
Can't beat that.
Can't beat that. I'm so excited. Anyway, so I'm excited for the last one we were just talking about, because that's going to be a really fun beer. And God, it's just going to be delicious. It's just going to be so good. Well, Mike, I'm going to go to a break real quick, but if you want to stick around and listen to the news and put in your 2 cents, great. If you got a jet because you got to work tomorrow, that's totally fine too.
Okay.
It's 8 p.m.
Okay.
It's early.
Okay.
It's early. We're going to get another beer because we're out, all of us. We're all
I'm going to
empty.
get another beer.
There you go. We'll be right back with more news and fun things about town.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, of course, man. We'll get some whiskey talked about. We probably won't be able to drink it here at the Ben's Bottleshop, but that's okay. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll be right back.
So I'm in Vegas 6 times before that CBC thing.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Like 2 weeks. I go to Vegas a lot. Well, Vegas and concerts.
I'm Jake. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Avery with Lazy Days Brewing, and you're listening to the Brew Happy Show.
I'm John Paul from Paul Cigars. Everyone knows I think craft beer is awesome, but so is my huge selection of cigars. You can get all your favorite tobacco products at any one of my conveniently placed locations in Beaverton, East Vancouver, and my headquarters store on Jansen Beach. Our wide selection and helpful staff will make your visit so very satisfying. You might even want to have a beer to celebrate. So come on in and check us out. For more information, contact us at paulcigars.net.
Hi, this is the Green Goddess of Portland, here to bring interior wilding to your space. Offering local consultations, weekly plant care, pest solutions, rare plant curation and sales. This houseplant hobby has cultivated a worthy collection backed by knowledge and experience. And now I want to help you make your business beautiful. Contact Browyn, the Green Goddess, at greengoddessbotanic@gmail.com and Green Goddess Botanic on Instagram.
Hey, what's up? This is Ty from Single Hill Brewing, and you are listening to the Brew Happy Show.
Damian, I need more beer.
Hi, well, welcome back. Brew Happy Show, longest running beer podcast in the Pacific Northwest. I'm sure you've heard of us. If you hadn't, you live under a rock. But we, not trying to be mean, but I'm sure if you're listening, you already know all about us. We're happy to be here in Vancouver, at Ben's Bottleshop, drinking lots of delicious beer. We all got re-upped. Let's talk about what we done got poured. Let's start with John. John, you
I
slammed
got a Scottish ale.
You slammed that damn
By
can
Block
down like it
15.
was. You were angry at it.
I bet you this doesn't sell worth a damn here, but you know.
Highland Hymn from Block 15.
It doesn't. You know, I was talking to
He's probably not wrong.
a vice beer guy, and I go like, "How come you don't make any brown beers?" He says, "Because they don't sell."
He's fucking right.
He's right. We
one
love
of the
brown
best
beers, but
one of
they
the
don't
best
sell.
brown ales in the city is from Brothers Cascadia. And I fucking love it to death. It's actually called John's Brown Ale or something like that. It's JP's Brown Ale. It's something like that.
This is historical
I'll
style
ask Jason
beer.
about it. So okay, let's
Highland Hymns.
Scottish style ale. There's some stuff in here.
I do want to make a Scottish ale, though.
Malt forward
More than a
historical
brown.
style, 5.8%. This is inspired by the majestic sights and sounds of Scotland. Highland Hymn is a malt forward crescendo of caramelized sugar. Crescendo, that's another word you don't hear in a fucking beer. Toffee notes accompanied by a robust and complex finish. Is it complex?
Yes.
Good job.
Complex.
Nailed it.
You also got
But
something.
I'm easy to be complex then.
Mike, something dark.
Yeah, it's time of year, right? So,
It is.
Actually, one of my favorite beers, Lewitt makes Grimlock Porter.
It's so fucking.
It's
It's
really
wonderful.
good.
It wins
They've been
awards and
making
it's
that
delicious.
It does.
And I went with I said it wrong earlier, but it's the Wayfinder Winged Creatures, and it's IPA, and it's really yummy. It's super good. Sorry, I had to take a little sip.
Do it.
Let's quickly do some news so we can get it the hell out of the way. Oh, you were gonna tell me about who took over in Portland.
Oh yeah, just shout out to Mike Mathis took over our spot in Portland on Williams there, commensal fermentation project. I think
What
it's
are they
project.
gonna do?
Project?
Beer again?
Fermentation. We'll see about fermentation. Huh?
You're gonna make beer, or?
Oh yeah. So Mike was the head brewer for a long time at Cascade.
Cascade.
And then also
Oh.
before that, the Coalition. So yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So he's gonna do some
Needs to be some Coalition
some
beers.
clean beers and do some mixed ferm. He's gonna be doing at some point. He's gonna be like making his own bread and cheese and stuff like that. So it's gonna be kind of a cool, fun
Bread. I used to
fermentation
make bread
project.
when I was 18.
God damn it!
You worked
You
in a
tell us the
bakery.
story
Actually-
again. I swear to
Oh,
God.
God, okay.
I lost my virginity in that bakery.
My dad bought a bakery, and me, my brother, my wife, and my grandmother all worked there.
I made the best sandwiches back in
we out there just grinding stone on stone with the.
But we did make everything from scratch.
It was the 70s, wasn't it?
Yeah, 77. With Van Mall, when they put in Van Mall.
That's not bad. I was 6 years old then.
Yeah, when they put in Van Mall in 77, we
You were
opened
negative.
up Tiffany's Bakery in there.
Yeah.
And so, but it was weird how much sex was in that bakery, though.
I fucked that. God damn it, Sean.
Well, my brother,
See,
just
there's
everyone.
so many things I want to say, but I can't.
By the way,
In the
so
mall.
you can say whatever you want. We're not FCC
Oh,
regulated.
no.
Here's what I will say is.
So I need someone throwing it at me now.
By the way, if you ever want to hear a better coming of age tale, I've been listening to Patrick Stewart reading his memoir, audiobook, and he's so eloquent with his words. He the way he says it is, we had a wonderful evening and a wonderful morning, and when I woke up, I was no longer a virgin. I'm like, what the fuck, Patrick?
That sounds terrible.
And then he talks about trying to gather his legs to go walk down to grab a cappuccino and couldn't do it because he had run himself ragged the night before.
Oh my
But
God! You know why Santa has
it's a good
no,
memoir to listen to.
You know
it's
why
fucking classic.
Santa has no children.
I don't want to hear it. Not now.
Come on, it's simple.
Go ahead.
Because he only comes once a year.
All right. Thanks.
You got to bring your rim shot. There it is.
Oh, fuck. Let's do some news. Brought to you by newschoolbeer.com and brewpublic.com. We have the news of brews.
That was sort of clean.
From down your alley. Yeah, super
right?
clean.
You tell that to a kid, he's going to go, oh, yeah, I used to see him once a year.
Yeah, there you go. Great job.
We were the longest running podcast.
We've just been canceled by everyone.
Wait, we could pick up listeners that way.
There you go.
Controversy.
Public Coast Brewing welcomes year 67 Blonde Lager. It announces this new addition to its year-round lineup of beers. The Cannon Beach, Oregon brewery has unveiled its 67 Blonde Lager, and it's being hailed as a reimagined classic from their 2018 World Cup winner 67 Blonde Ale. It's a crisp golden lager, joins the brewery's signature collection of year-round offerings, and includes the Coastal Hazy IPA, the Oswald IPA, and the Coconut Brown Ale, along with the Northwest Honey Red Ale. Don't forget to try the non-alcoholic Stevens root beer. You know what? That sounds like a great lager to drink. I do love a good lager, and lagers are on the rise. So I'll have to get that from Public
Lagers are
Coast.
blowing up.
They are blowing up.
Finally.
Yes, they are.
Finally.
I agree.
Taking about, I think we've seen it, the incline happen over the last about 4-ish years.
4 or 5 years. Yeah. Thank God.
Well, you know what? There's a couple of breweries, and I've said this on the show, but biasly, at the same time, not trying to step on anyone's toes, but Von Ebert has just helped that game in ways that I think very few have been able to. You guys also, up on this side of the river, have helped that game. There's some great lagers being made right now, and it's really the time to drink them, especially in the fall.
Yeah.
I think I had more Oktoberfest beers this year than any other, and they were fantastic.
Yeah. We got a Schwarz beer on right now that I'm just crushing.
All by yourself?
I love Schwarz beer. No, it's actually, I'll say this. They're almost a little more adventurous on this side of the river. I'll say that. It's really kind of crazy. I mean,
Chuck and Nut does a great Schwarz.
Oh, of course. But, like accounts, right? Like they buy it over there because they know our program a little more, like they would with Von Ebert and all. But, I mean, we sell so much Bavarian Hefeweizen. and Weissen beers that are.
Wow.
It's wonderful. It's a long.
That's good though.
Long, arduous process to brew.
Oh God, yeah.
But it's worth it, and but it's nice.
How's your Marzen game?
Not bad.
Okay.
Not bad.
I love Marzen.
I do love.
We haven't done Marzen in a while. We'll do Vienna. We do.
No one cares.
Huh?
No one cares.
No, what about Vienna?
Marzen.
No, yeah. What was the one you said that everyone needs to do? Coffee Kolsch. That's the one. We've been talking about this now, I think, for at least 3 weeks.
And your blueberry and your coffee.
No,
Kolsch.
coffee. No,
So
coffee
bang-
on nitro.
What about a blueberry coffee?
No, stop.
You might love it.
So Banger Brothers was in Fremont Street forever.
It's a blueberry with coffee.
And they made a coffee culture that's phenomenal. And they put it on nitro every so often. Oh.
We have a coffee stout out right now.
But you can imagine it's a summer morning beer. It's
Sure.
coffee.
Yeah.
It's Kolsch.
I like it.
Yeah.
This past week, we wrapped up Portland Cider Week, which hosted a myriad of events, including CiderCon, which was a great success. And if anyone got to enjoy some of the events, the tastings, the pairings, the speakings, and all of the cider happenings, this last week was the week to do it. With that, we have a couple of cider releases. Portland Cider Company released 2 new ciders for their Portland Cider Week. The first one is the Mango Mimosa cider, which is a limited run, and then of course the English Pub cider, which is going to be very much the way to go if you like traditional style of cider from the English side of things. Both are going to be delicious. If you want to get yourself some, you can get some at most of your locations in Portland. I'm a big fan of mango. I really like mangoes, so I probably would go for the mango mimosa, and some English style cider is not bad. I don't mind. Along with that, are you taking my news?
There's the news. This is a repeat. I was looking at that.
What's that? That's different.
The same thing you had.
No, it's not. It's different.
It is?
Seattle
Okay.
Cider Company co-launches Vivid Light Cider in 4 flavors. We do know and love Seattle Cider Company, and they go all in with Vivid Light Cider, the company's new lineup of light cider. It's a tart apple, and they have 3 different flavors along with that: the juicy pear, the bright cherry, and the fresh peach. Known for its award-winning line of dry and off-dry offering of ciders, Seattle Cider crafts their ciders with freshly pressed Washington apples. Also holds true with the new line of Vivid Light Cider portfolio. I'm actually really excited to try this. It's a lower ABV, but it doesn't look like they've skimped on the flavor. So 4.2% and 98 calories. Thoughts on that? You don't like ciders, do you? Generally.
I do. When I do, I drink dry cider. I'm not big into like the big sweet
super sweet.
ciders.
No, I
Yeah,
wouldn't
I
be
kind of like the English style. Or
Yeah.
honestly, there's some really
Bowman's,
baller
yeah.
like mixed culture ciders that I love.
That's the way I feel about Swift. The stuff that Swift does.
That's the weird ass stuff that they brought.
Oh, Oliver's Fine Cider.
Oliver's. Have you heard of that? Mm-mm. Me neither.
From across the pond.
Yeah, across the pond.
Yeah, Swift does they have open fermentation for their ciders, and so they
some of these have like Brett and ones I was
they're
talking about.
very
There's some
funky,
really
yeah.
I don't know if they do those, but
So it
like
means it's different each batch.
these farmhouse
Yeah.
farmhouse ciders they call them like
Yeah.
that with Brett. I mean they're awesome.
Bauman's, I think, is and they're winning awards left and right too. Their cider game right now is off the chart, and I think part of it is the fact that they have the damn farm that makes the apples, and so they can kind of cultivate how they want their ciders to be. But their ciders from the dry.
Yeah, so
Here
they
you
do those
go.
commercials. They're hilarious.
I bet they are. Get your dick in some cider, company.
Dickens cider.
Dickens Cider. Last but not least, Total Beverage Solution acquires the majority of St. Killian Importing. Total Beverage Solution, a leading provider of beverage import, is excited to announce a succession of acquisition for a majority of St. Killian's brand portfolio, a prominent player in the industry known for its exceptional portfolio in premium beverages. This deal propels Total Beverage Solution to become the 7th largest beer importer in the United States. I want to toss this over to you because we've seen a lot of changes this last year, especially when we watched Anheuser-Busch sell off things like 10 Barrel to Tilray. How do you think these kind of acquisitions help, or maybe are not as helpful for the brewing community?
Well, I guess it depends on who's buying and who's being sold. I mean, I think some of it, and I could be wrong. Seeing like 10 Barrel selling off, seeing Constellation selling off Ballast Point at a huge loss, like several $100 million.
Wow, Constellation Beverages sold?
Oh yeah, like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
They bought it for $1 billion.
Yeah.
And they sold it for I want to say $200 million. I think it's what it is I think a lot of these big companies thought they were just going to come in and buy our industry, and people and our customers and our culture is not into that.
No.
And so
especially when we
Consolidate's a very heavily recommended stock.
Yeah.
But the seeing like certain people being sold off. I mean, and some beers you go, yep, they were just made to sell. I mean,
True.
Hop. What do you call it? Who's the one in Eugene?
Hopworks?
No, that sold to Miller years ago. They had like Citrus Mistress. Hop something.
Hop Valley.
Hop Valley. They were built to sell.
Absolutely.
Some people do.
Absolutely.
So was Golden Roads.
Right. That's
So
all they
was
care
a few
about.
they were just trying to sell, and they did.
Well, and that's kind of the way I feel. Unfortunately, despite the other aspects of it, Ninkasi being bought out, or not Ninkasi, Ecliptic being bought out by the brand that holds now Ninkasi as well, which is great because we get some Ecliptic beers, but it's not the same as John Harris making the beers.
No, I don't know who's making. I can't know who's making them. Ninkasi's making them.
Ninkasi.
It's just, I think some people, get to a point. I think John probably just wanted out.
He's tired.
Yeah.
It's the goddamn rent for that building is more than
can't do it forever.
The fact that
ask Von Ebert. They took it.
The fact that Tom's moving into Von Ebert, look, I mean, good for them, but god damn, their pocketbook's got to be fucking hurting right now. I'm sure it's a little thin.
I'm sure.
But I won't ask Tom that question. But when we broke that news, I think was either last week or the week before. We were like, okay, let's just see what happens. And I wish them well. I'm sure they'll succeed. But that's a fucking huge facility.
That's a huge facility to take.
They're going up to what, 20,000 barrels or something like that.
Something like that.
It's a huge amount of and they could do it, but it's.
Oh, I'm sure.
God damn, that's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. I thought we were going in pretty hard with
with your new place,
another almost $1 million all in, but
yeah,
it's just it's tough.
When you're growing, and then you got to get it while it's getting good.
You're growing and you're dying, right?
Yeah,
I agree with that.
I want you don't have to keep growing, but I mean, I never want to do more than
stagnant.
I never want to do more than 10.
Well, that's so interesting because we've talked about it over the last year, especially with some of the favorites that we've had over this last couple of years that have closed the doors and said goodbye and see you laters, and it's the relevancy.
Right.
There's an island of relevancy, and either you're on it or you're sinking next to it.
Yeah.
And that's the unfortunate thing is if you're not committing to keeping with the times, keeping with the changes. I mean, something like
so you're talking like Bridgeport and all that. I mean, if you want to taste an IPA from '97,
sure.
That's the. I mean, here's the thing: is you can't do that anymore.
No.
You can't make a big malty IPA.
No.
Not out here.
Nope.
You want to call it English and hope for that very small demographic to latch onto that. Great.
Yeah, I think
it's the barley wine
IPA
crowd.
Here too, it's not going to sell. Fantastic, but it's not going to sell.
Well, and it's tough because when you get new trends, I mean, like we've seen how relaxed now the New England style or hazy IPA scene is out here on the West Coast. Yeah. The cold IPA scene is still kind of just floating along. You get a few, and John loves them, and that's great. John is drinking them up.
I like cold IPAs.
But it's we get these fads, we get these trends, and people.
Brute.
Oh God damn it! The fuck. I mean,
those are some that I'm glad just kind of made their way quickly through.
I would
they
take
burned
a
out
Grisette
fast.
10 times out of 10 over a Brute.
There weren't very many good ones made. I think.
No.
So I think a couple styles. went down that road, and they suffered for it. Black IPA or Cascadian Dark Ale and Black IPA, which I believe are very different.
They are, but still great.
And Session IPA.
Yeah.
I don't get the Session IPA.
Oh, you
I
should.
don't either.
Well, when we have Ticklish Warrior on, come check it out.
Okay.
It's literally like it. I think that's the thing, right? You have it's a delicate balance of a small beer,
right,
with big hop flavor,
right?
And how do you balance it? How,
right.
you can't make because I think when they first came out, just like Black IPA, I'm gonna guarantee you, and Brute, most of them were bad. Because people didn't understand that you're not making a hoppy porter in Black IPA.
Right.
You're using roast malts in a very specific way, and then using very specific hops to kind of like create that candied chocolate thing.
Well, that's why I liked Cascadian Dark Ales a little bit more, because it very much led to the
CDAs,
a style specifically more than just having a black.
I mean, genuflect, Tyler Brown, Turmoil.
Tyler Brown, Turmoil.
That's the greatest. Yes. That's the greatest of all time.
It is the greatest of all time.
That's the greatest of all time. And Session IPAs did the same thing. I think you had either these really weird, flabby, not hoppy enough beers, or they were so dry and they didn't have any body to hold them. And it's a difficult beer to make. It really is not.
I believe it.
We just stopped calling it Session. We just called it IPA. And just
let people
it's
figure
4.9 and because people will go, but now they try it. They'll try it when it's on. They'll be like, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah.
And it's only 4.9.
I'm not looking at a name. Yeah, you're looking at the beer.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And I think that's the other thing too, is people are so depending on who you are. We've seen, and still to this day see, very much of, I'm gonna die on this fucking hill of the name and not the quality of the beer. And it's well, because I have to have it be the profile. I have to make sure it says that it is blank blank. It's a Brute. I have to make sure no, just tell it a fucking IPA. You can make it a Brute all you want, but if you don't put a name behind it, you just keep it as simple as not complex for the stupidest beer drinker, then yeah, you're gonna be fine. But when you're trying to push a certain style because it's the style you like, a cold IPA or a Brute or whatever the fuck it is, that's where you're going to lose 60 to 75% of the average beer drinker, because they're like, I don't know what the fuck that is, I'm not drinking it. But if it just says IPA,
they don't want to figure it out.
No, they don't want to spend the time or money going, that's not what I want.
It's like, do we call Schwarzbier? Not really. We call it Black Lager.
Yeah.
But then in description say it's a German-style Schwarzbier.
Yes.
And then go from there, because, again, know your demographic.
Most
and
definitely.
where you're at. And, so whether you want to call it,
don't confuse
Black
your
Lager.
customers.
Right.
We call it Black Lager, and then in the description we say Schwarzbier.
Yeah.
Because you just gotta play the game too, right? As much as it hurts my soul, not just call it, just say, hey, it's a Schwarzbier.
Right.
This is Mike's Schwarzbier next.
And educate it, right? It's not gonna fly.
No, because people get confused easy.
That's true. Well, let's take a little trip around to Whiskey Corner.
Come guess me this riddle, what beats pipe and fiddle, what's hotter than mustard and milder than cream, what best wets your whistle, what's clearer than crystal, sweeter than honey and stronger than steam. What can make the dumb talk, what can make the lame walk, what's the elixir of life and philosopher's stone? And what helped Mr. Brunel to dig the Thames Tunnel? Sure wasn't it whiskey from old Inishowen? So stick to the crater, the best thing in nature, for sinking your sorrows and raising your joys. And boys, I'd half wonder if lightning and thunder was made from the plunder of whiskey, me boys.
Yeah, that's right. With 3 convenient locations, our friend John Paul from Paul Cigars is the man of Scotch about town, and he's going to share with us something that we won't be drinking here because they don't allow it, but we're going to talk about it.
There we go.
First of all, Paul, you have a beautiful singing voice.
Yeah, that's definitely John on that song.
Not me.
That's John, everybody. He's from Ireland.
There you go. So you know what I brought? I brought something that
Jesus
I brought something that
Mike.
bourbon people would like.
Oh,
look at that! That's why I brought this for him. I always have options.
You're giving him a bottle? How nice!
Yeah, there we go. This one is called.
Mike's like, yes.
Beautiful yet balanced. It's from a Speyside distillery.
That sounds like Mike.
It's a refill puncheon Oloroso bottle.
Oh, I'm about the sherry.
10 years. It's subtle because it's only 10, and it's an extra refill, so it's not a first fill. So it's 64%, 10 years, and it is a sweet and spicy. That's what that. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's barrel strength. And
that is delicious.
Is it delicious? You like that one?
It smells great. That smells amazing. Thank you, John, for letting us smell this.
There we go. And look, I got
It's
him
a wonderful nosing.
I got him a bottle to take home.
Oh, thanks,
look
bro.
Oh, wow, look at that.
Thank you.
That's a very big bottle.
Because I'm out of my small ones. These guys aren't bringing them back fast enough.
No, Jesus.
It's been a wonderful nosing.
Yes, doesn't it?
The nose on it.
There we go. I thought that's sort of the.
Well, thank you very much.
Closest thing. Okay, I got something else that's sort of similar to the bourbon thing too.
Okay.
This one's got even more sherry. This one is a first fill.
You want me to read it?
Oloroso in it's in a Spanish oak barrel.
Let me read it.
Here, read it.
I read it.
It's even sweeter.
Sit back, close your eyes, and imagine you are in.
I got some of that too.
A busy tabernacle or a tavern in Jerez, listening to a flamenco and eating tapas. This is called a deep soul.
A deep soul.
Flamenco. That's very specific.
Yes. The fucking thing about these Scotch Malt Whiskey Society whiskeys is
all single barrels.
The shit that they put on the label is absolutely accurate.
It is.
It's so accurate. I don't know how they do it either. The one we had, what was nail polish and wood varnish? Yeah, it tasted horrible, just like that.
Well, because it's peated.
It was so peated.
It's supposed to taste like Band-Aids and iodine and
campfire.
Some people
burning tires.
You know what's so great about the
hot
peat,
dogs.
though? Here's the great peat. You drink the peat all night.
That smells like hot dogs.
And then you wake up in the morning, 8 hours later, and the first thing I do is I smell the peat from the night before.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
You know how many times John's come to the show going,
I
had a lot of peat last night, and I can smell it on my breath.
I can smell it. And I haven't even drank it in 12 hours, and you can still smell it. It's unbelievable. It just like crushes
deep soul.
your soul. So I did bring, you know what I did bring? I know he hates the peat, but you know what it is. He doesn't have to try this. But I brought him a bottle of the peatiest scotch in the world.
The Octomore?
So I brought him an Octomore so he can smell.
He
just
can
smell it.
Sure.
Mike's like, yeah, I'll smell it. Just don't put it in my mouth.
Yeah, just don't put it in your mouth. It's Octomore. Just smell that.
Just smell it.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, my God.
I like how
this is
Mike was smart enough to keep his mouth open and not close it because that would have killed him.
This is 3 to 4 times more peaty than anything you would buy in a liquor store. It's the Octomore. It's sort of a special thing.
That's peaty.
Is that crazy?
Thanks for the
You love that, don't you?
Oh, my God.
Right now, you're just full thrust.
We were talking about it at Jen and Jeremy's yesterday about your collection because we were talking about how you had the Isla there, and that's what we have with
Isla.
The Scotch.
I have over 1,000 different open bottles of whiskey, of Scotch, not whiskey.
1,000.
1,000.
I thought my 110 bourbon would pretty good.
No. So
and that doesn't count my Armagnac.
Yeah, we were talking about his closet. Yeah,
I got some single barrel rums.
So I have some of those as well.
I do too. Yeah.
Yes, those are pretty cool.
I like them, the rums.
Yes.
I'm really into wine too. So
the one that you got me for Christmas, I haven't tapped back into yet because I don't really want to. But it's the 2000s Trinidad one, and it's so goddamn good. I just don't want to unless it's a special occasion. But I've been filling up my dead bottles into the dead my bottles into the dead bottle. Which I talked about the first week. I have this bottle that has a little skull stopper on it.
Oh,
and
cool.
It's my dead bottle. So as I start to finish rum, I just pour them into the dead bottle, and we just can mix along.
They call it an infinity bottle.
Infinity bottle or a, what's the other way?
Right now it's infinitively good.
Usually they call it infinity bottle.
Yeah, it's an infinity. Or it's a bottomless bottle. Mike's gonna think about it. It'll come to you when you're on your way home. You're like, God damn it! But yeah, so when I get close to finishing a bottle of rum, I just pour it into.
Well, you need one of those cigars then.
My dead bottle. Oh, there we go. A little leather rose. This is a nice little cigar. This is a tiny little one. It's
sweet.
It's super sweet. I'll put that in my pipe and smoke it, as she said. You know what? Let's do it real quick since he's sitting here.
Who makes this?
Drew Estate.
Oh, it is Drew Estate.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's Deadwoods. It's sort of
Deadwood. That's the one. Deadwood's one. Yeah.
It's the one that's trending. Right,
they're all the one that's trending, guys. If you don't know,
What kind of
they're all doing a few stuff now.
What kind of rapper?
I have no idea. It's infused
Nicaraguan. Let's go.
Yeah, Nicaraguan. Well, I like Nicaraguan.
Why
I
wouldn't
love
we?
it.
Yeah. I will say now would be a good time if you wanted to do a cigar pairing. We haven't done a cigar pairing on the show for a long time because we keep bringing out scotches and different whiskeys and liquors and spirits. But yeah, Mike's here. Mike loves a good cigar, and he's going to be right around the corner from your new. By the way, guys, if you don't know,
I'm super stoked.
John is moving one of his stores from Jansen Beach out to Hazeldale here in the upper Vancouver part of Washington. So if you're a Jansen Beach fan, come on across the river to either East Vancouver or to Hazeldale, which his new store is going to be coming at, and Mike will be there all the time.
Oh, thanks. Wow.
Mike, what is one of your favorite styles of cigar?
I'm a Maduro guy. I think for the most part. I kind of anything AJ Fernandez is I'm really into.
So you know what he's done? So he used to do a lot of collaborations for people.
Yeah.
Where all the stuff, he stopped doing that.
Did he?
Yeah.
Dude, that H. Upman.
No, right.
Two of those.
What he does now
fire.
is he does all his own cigars. He doesn't collaborate anymore.
Oh, right on.
And so what I've been doing is getting off of the collaborations and going straight to him.
Have you tried that Last Call?
Yes.
Dark,
Yes.
it's like nightcap
I
chocolate.
didn't bring anything super dark.
Oh no, it's all good.
Like
I'm not,
killing the dark thing.
There's nothing.
He's got enough at home. Don't worry.
I've got you should come over. I don't have it like you, but you should come to my house. And,
Here's one more. Here's a dark one.
Do all that. Thank
That's
you.
you know for my father.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, my father's got some really good
Right,
stuff.
and Don Pepin is the my father guy,
Yeah.
and his son is Jaime Garcia.
Oh okay.
Okay.
Oh
and-
really?
Yeah, that's his son, and this one is made for Don Pepin's daughter. This is Jaime Garcia's
Is it really?
sister.
Oh cool.
And they made a special cigar. It doesn't sell real well. It's a really good cigar though. It just doesn't sell well because people don't know. And I sell a lot of my father products.
I was going to say
I bet. That's what I got at your place last time.
Yeah.
Was my father.
I sell a ton
Which
of
one was it?
I was going to
They
say
do such a good job.
My father is probably not rolling a lot of tobacco because he has Parkinson's, but I'm sure they're good cigars.
No,
My
Don
dad did.
Pepin is fine.
Wow. Don
Here's
Pepin's
the
in it.
story. Don Pepin is Jaime wanted to roll cigars for his dad.
You're over here
And
talking about
dad-
his Pepinus and his hymen.
Wait,
What the
wait,
hell?
No, and his dad goes.
By the way, I just realized after I was looking at cigars, so I called you Paul like twice.
That's okay.
Yeah,
I know your
he
name's
goes by
John.
his last name. It's
I know. When I think of this, I think of your
Paul
Paul Cigars.
Cigars.
Right.
By the way, Paul Cigars coming to Hazeldale soon.
But my name is John Paul.
He is.
See, I try and hide.
I know.
that.
Well, yes,
Well,
but
we
I apologize. It wasn't. It was
No,
an
we-
honest mistake.
You know why we do that? Because my dad owned the store.
Yeah.
I own the store, and I'm trying to pass it to my daughter.
Oh, cool.
And so, try and name it after the last name. So,
Sure.
it just continues down. and you
We
don't
did
have
that
to
thing
change
for
it.
the longest time of Je
Still-
m'appelle Jean
still feel like a
Paul,
Dirk.
which is my name is Jean Paul.
There you go.
Je m'appelle.
Thank you very much.
But there you
No
go.
problem.
Fun. What?
That's what I do.
What is your favorite cigar right now?
Oh man.
Something Maduro.
Something Maduro.
Next question.
You know,
There's a lot of stuff. It's hard to say. It's not your
Anniversary
favorite beer.
1924 is pretty awesome.
For Padron.
Padron.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't go wrong with
Yeah,
Padron.
I agree.
Like I said, a lot of that AJ Fernandez,
AJ Fernandez,
the
H. Upman.
Enclave, I like that
yeah.
quite a bit. I actually had what was the Ruin Nation? Wasn't bad.
Yeah.
I got it in a like a assorted pack with
I mean the
Enclave.
the 3 for $15 pack? No.
No, it was 5. It
Okay.
was 20 cigars. It was 5.
Okay, got it. Like
5 of
combination
4
things.
different. Yeah, and it was actually some nice cigar. A couple I didn't have before, a couple I had.
Yeah.
I'll always go with Cuatro Nicaragua by Aging Room is a good one. Just for
Aging
when
Room.
Go, yeah.
it's easy to find. And then when I'm in that, but
Well, this new store is going to be gigantic, so you're going to have
I'm
a lot more
stoked.
selection.
And if you
It's
need
right
me,
by my house.
if you need me to help you supply for your anniversary there, because they'll have outside area.
Oh yeah,
You can smoke outside.
That's a good
And
idea.
well, it's March though. It's still cold.
Eh,
We
you
have
can still
heaters?
smoke outside.
There
Yeah,
you
you
go.
can
Yeah.
it'll be
yeah,
fine.
haters.
Get the good friend discount right there.
There we go.
Oh, yeah.
I can supply stuff. I can supply weird ass things that would like drive your customers nuts.
I'll say this. You know what? A friend of mine went to Italy and brought back. I'll tell you what it is later, but they look gnarly. They look like little.
They're gnarly. Trust me,
But
they're not good.
But the one I had
Weird.
smoked really well.
Good.
Like because they look like something out of Harry Potter. Like
Yeah,
like
a Clint Eastwood. Clint Eastwood. Yeah, they're Clint Eastwood
They're not
cigars.
pretty, and
they're not pretty.
they taper. They go thin to big
and
to
crooked,
thin.
and they got big stems on them.
The one I had, they brought back like 10 of them, and actually they smoked really well. I was surprised because the way they looked was rough.
A lot of those you keep them drier too, not moist.
Really?
So they smoke better.
Really?
Yes,
okay.
because if you get too moist, they don't smoke so well. They're a little rough.
Well, Mike, we have a big anniversary potential IPA fest coming up here.
I like that. Well, that would be in like the summer.
Summer IPA fest. His anniversary is in March.
Anniversary in March.
He's smart enough to realize that you need to do festivals in summer.
That's true.
See, John's listening.
He's listening.
Yeah, summer. When it's warm.
Just pretend when I said those words, there was a comma in between.
I have a friend down there. His name's Bacon Dan. He'll be there.
Yeah, he will.
Bacon Dan.
Bacon Dan. Is that
great
right?
name.
We'll
you know
talk
where
about
he's
that in a
from?
minute.
Buffalo, New York.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, wide right.
Yeah, wide right.
Wide.
Oh, I should set him down on Facebook.
You should.
Did I see a wide right?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Bing.
There
it is. Where is it?
Yeah. There you go.
There it is.
His birthday's this Saturday, too.
There you go.
I went to his wedding and everything. So in Washington.
Ruthless. First.
Yeah, well, it's easy. He helped me do
Step
a
on him
comedy
while they're
show.
down.
And
Love it.
He understands.
You got a lot of collaborations you talked about, Mike. I'm really excited for some of those, as well as the future for you. Hopefully, many more awards. You peaked out greatly in 2023.
Yeah,
and
we're burning out now.
Yeah, you're done. You're fucking close the doors.
We're done.
No, you got more coming down the line, guys. If you haven't visited the fantastic Grains of Wrath brewery out in Camas, Washington, make sure you do it and look on the horizon. There's going to be more beers coming down the lane from those guys. If it's not in your tap house, tell your bartender and tell Grains of Wrath to be there because they should be. And
please do.
Enjoy some nice IPAs. Enjoy some nice lagers. Mike, we super appreciate you.
You know what I think we should do?
Again.
What?
We should get a whiskey barrel,
Uh-huh.
fill it with a porter,
Uh-huh.
and then stuff it with a bunch of cigar tobacco. And see what it tastes like later.
Don't think that would go good.
Why?
I think we would throw up immediately. Or
no, you don't
shortly
know.
It's okay. I do know.
Just call it like Red Man or one of those big leaf.
You don't know. I'm
There you
just
go.
telling you. You never know.
You know what? You
You
talk
never
to
do
Mike
know.
after the show about
never
that,
do
and
know.
we'll find out.
You never do know.
I think John said too much.
Just a smaller beer, smaller barrel then.
He hasn't smoked any pot this afternoon.
Okay,
so,
I'll buy the barrel and the cigar tobacco, and then like you can.
And then I'll throw some porter in there.
Yeah,
just for you.
I'll get a smaller barrel so
Yeah.
we can see how horrible it tastes.
We'll keep it at your house.
Yeah.
See,
We can do
we
that.
can taste it then.
what's the best way to contact Grains of Wrath beer?
GOWbeer.com.
There you go.
That's the best way,
Do it.
in general.
Easy.
Thank you for again having us. I think it's at least my third time with you guys.
I was gonna say at least the third,
If
but
not
not the
fourth.
last. Yeah.
Right, and I keep bribing them so they come back.
There you go. The
Right?
cigars
It's
and the
pretty good.
whiskey. There
He
you
goes
go.
at the end of the night. He goes like, "That was a pretty good gig."
Well,
Maybe I'll do that
actually,
again."
last time we did it, you weren't there.
Yeah.
You were
in
Europe? In Scotland.
Yeah.
That was Scotland, yeah.
Just being wasted all the way through Scotland.
I tried being in
I mean,
Scotland
God
a lot.
bless. Yeah.
I think Campbelltown's the greatest. So Campbelltown they used to have 30 distilleries before Prohibition, but then after Prohibition they went down to 2.
Really?
Yeah.
Right.
Swear to God.
So they said in order to be a region you have to have 5. So one of them made 3 more breweries. So we go there for the festival. What's so great is mostly industry festival because people go to Isla. It's right before Isla, but they're carried by Isla, not Campbelltown. So we go there. It's mostly industry. So I can see the industry. What's so great is everything in town is within 600 yards.
Seriously.
Really?
Seriously. So once you get your Airbnb, you never
You just walked everywhere.
Oh,
You
yeah.
walk everywhere.
That sounds pretty great.
Yeah, you're near the bay. You're on each side. There's a distillery. There's hardly any restaurants. One little grocery store. But think about it. You can just stumble around.
The
for
laundromat,
And
of course.
it's beautiful country.
Oh, it's so beautiful up there.
All the heather and rocks.
Yes, and no trees.
It's like Ireland, but
We should
not
all go
pretty.
no
together. That's
bushes
fine.
because there's so much wind.
Fuck that. I don't need that. I don't live in Troutdale for a reason. Guys, thank you so much, Mike.
Thank you.
Dude, I appreciate you. And
Always fun.
Greens of Wrath, guys, check them out. If you haven't, do it. Please support these guys out in Camas. They're fantastic. New production facility coming for Washougal. Tasting room maybe later. We'll find out in 2025. Who knows? But if you haven't, check it out. grainsofwrathbeer.com. Guys, it's fun times here on the Brew Happy Show, and if you aren't a subscriber on Patreon, go to patreon.com/brewhappy. You get the inside scoop on the newest and the coolest, and you get some swag along the way. With that being said, Damian's not here, but he would say, I don't just like you, I love you, and I want to have a beer with you. Until next week, brewers, do it, brew happy if you're going to brew. Cheers. We'll see you later.
Out. Thanks, guys.
Is brought to you by Brew Happy Media, the ultimate brewers media resource. For more information, go to thebrewhappyshow.com and brewhappypodcast.com. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube at Brew Happy. For more cigar pairings, please check out our sponsor, paulcigars.net. Questions, concerns, advertising, or guest relations, please reach us at brewhappypdx@gmail.com. Remember, brew happy, drink responsibly. Cheers.
I'm so fucking sad.
I always kept wondering, like, why do you recognize a couple people as a dryman driver?
Is he really?
Well, because he's got the little mustache thing going.
Damian,
and the goatee thing.
Is he really a tri-man driver?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Him and Josh Huerta, who was from Pono.
No, Josh.
He has no other job. He doesn't make any money.
Josh used to be Point Blank back in the day.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be weird to sit on the bus and go like, but the problem is the bus people aren't